match. I'm not going to make this match. This is really every single match. What? I've been blocked like 10 people.
Get back here!
That was really a here. The whole plan of this block. Why the fuck is it trying to put me in progress? 6 stacks.
So weird. I'm chasing him. Oh my god. We're role playing. You have a pour anyway? No, he's taking it! No, he took the pour! Your car's here now. I'll bring you to this car.
Counter UAV above. Enemy UAV detected. Hostile care package above. Skewer released it.
I'm being serious, take this car.
Gotta get out.
Get in this car! Get in the car! You can run them over. Ready?
Go.
Oh, we're so dead. Oh. Get him! You're dead. You need to make me a TP.
Do you want it?
Did you do damage?
Yeah. No.
Look at Ryan!
No, he's getting counter. Where's bro?
He's not calling. I don't. Shut him. Get us out of here. Get us out of here. Go Oasis. There's a crafter. God, our altar didn't say a word. He just died.
Are you serious?
There it is. Hey, Lamek, I don't want to call you out, but... Ooh, armor? Yeesh, dude. What have you been doing?
Hard point.
Whole game.
Control the objective.
I didn't even realize this guy's so...
Hostile personnel have captured the hard point.
I didn't want to call you out in front of everyone, but...
Activa. Todo bueno, 12 millas. Las primeras 6, un paseo. Las otras 6, castigo. Tengo una meta que pasar. Igual que como en la
Hardpoint locked down.
UAV request. Freeze. I said decide to do something different.
Care package ready for delivery.
Hardpoint located.
Enjoy the new car.
Taken marking care package easy.
Seat is ours. Not let up.
Plus 0 payments for 90 days. On select Sunday.
Hardpoint active. We control the hardpoint.
LDVR awaiting targeting data. Target marked for LDVR.
Time in effect, 15 rounds. That's 5 with Snapdragon, get a PC. Fast controllers with unplugged and has a battery life that lasts.
Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down. Hostile personnel have captured the hardpoint.
ADA, 2 destroy TOS.
Eyes in the sky.
We control the hardpoint. Hardpoint identified.
Setting up sensor.
Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint
Taken
locked down.
marking care package DZ. Initiating scrambler.
Authorizing secure flight.
Setting up sentry. LDVR salvo ready for launch.
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
LDVR.
We control the hardpoint.
Shot out, TOS
Stay out of my
5
way.
seconds.
Requesting half data feed downlink.
Hostile personnel have captured the hardpoint. Hostile skewer inbound.
Fire in effective. Check target port.
Hardpoint locked down.
Care package ready for delivery.
Hardpoint located.
Kagan marking care package
UAV
easy.
request.
So, what's next?
Hardpoint active. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Control the hardpoint.
Gas loss 200 damage.
UAV available for
Kagan
tasking.
requesting UAV tasking.
UAV perimeter established in your
Setting
base.
up sentry. That's
He's
5.
on that. You on that?
UAV fuel check 50%.
Initiating scrambler.
Oh, they ulted us.
No fuel, no fuel. UAV RTB.
Your scrambler was eliminated.
Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint is active. Hardpoint locked down.
Cover requesting UAV.
Oh, they have a Kraber.
Bro, this has been the longest life.
Guys, I have a plan. I have a plan. Look at my plan. Look at my plan. Plan, dude. I'm taking a detour.
Submitting harp tasking request.
Angel 73.
Oh, my bad. Did I get it?
Hardpoint located.
I'm pouring in from this rock. Get to that rock.
Hardpoint active. We control the hardpoint.
It's safe.
Get me eyes in the sky.
Hostile personnel have captured the hardpoint.
X-ray, state 50%.
Got
Oh,
10.
there. Oh, on me.
Hardpoint locked down.
Doing that.
I need bats.
Get inside.
Hostiles have the hardpoint. We control the hardpoint.
I'll give you bats. Get the bats.
Hardpoint identified.
Eliminated.
Hey, give me sniper ammo, bitch. What you got?
Time's up.
Care package on standby.
Zero to wake up.
Hostile personnel have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint is active.
Too far.
Hardpoint locked down.
Get a hop in the sky.
Setting up sentry.
Commit hunter killer tap.
Kagan marking care package DZ.
Ordering skewer launch on my mark.
Dog standing by.
Hardpoint located.
Authorizing dog deployment.
Ramp? One's in here.
Hardpoint active. We control the hardpoint. Keep pushing, Sec Team. We are in the
By
lead.
the way, they're gonna get fucked. They're gonna get fucked.
ready for delivery.
Pagan marking care package
What's
DZ.
happening? Team, rotate.
Hardpoint identified. Mission metrics exceeded projection. Impressive work.
That should keep them off our backs for a while.
Can't play the game.
Your favorite novelist was a CIA agent. Well, today I have some really bad news, because I can guarantee you that a novelist that you love was affiliated with an intelligence agency. Because if you don't believe me, well, our warm-up is going to start with Cormac McCarthy and Ernest Hemingway, and that's just going to get the party started, because today we are going all of the way, because that's what we do here on Right Conscious. We talk about the best books and authors of all time, nothing but transformative literature, but we don't stop there. We talk also about taboo topics in literature, and most importantly, how to create a literary renaissance. What is the great literature to change the world? And that's what I'm going to do here right now in this presentation, and reverse the course of history. Even think of Logic Bros. Well, today we are going to hear Wallace speak. Actions will go over your head, but then he always will bring it back. David Foster Wallace to step in, and if all of our heroes were involved with intelligence agencies, excuse me. And so if you guys want to go along on this journey with me, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And enough from me. Let's talk about the CIA, and you guys already know where we gotta start. With the man, the myth, the legend himself, the people's champion, our fallen hero, supposedly the voice of American literature. And with this author, we have hard facts. And some of the authors we're going to be talking about today are going to be speculative reaches by me. But we have at least 10 that were involved. And we have the documents to prove it with intelligence agencies, which is mind-boggling, because a lot of the time, intelligence agencies only show us what they want to show us. The documents that we get are what they want to reveal to us. And so, our first agent of the day is the narc himself, John Steinbeck. Did you really think in 9th grade that Mr. Jorgensen was teaching you of Mice and Men because he liked the novel, or because of his propaganda? So in 1952, John Steinbeck wrote a letter to the director of the CIA, and he said, quote, "If during this period I can be of any service whatever to yourself or I shall be only too glad." And before anyone starts making excuses for Steinbeck, he wrote this letter when he was just taking a vacation in Europe. It's not like he was in North Korea or something crazy. And what's even crazier is that we have the letter from the director of the CIA saying, yes, you can be of service to us. And there was a specific program in the CIA called Operation Lincoln, where the CIA would train figures who would be traveling to the USSR and showing them how to gain intelligence. And when Steinbeck visited the USSR, we now have the Russian, or the Soviet Union documents saying that they knew that he was a spy. And last and not least, and maybe one of the most indicting things of all, was that Steinbeck was really good friends with Lyndon B. Johnson, and at the end of his life, or at least during the Vietnam War era, was very, very supportive of the Vietnam War. And if you know anything about Lyndon B. Johnson, he is the agency's voice. So there have been many books written about this, and this is one of the strongest cases because, like I said, we only have 1 or 2 documents, but we don't know what happened during these private conversations. We don't know about any missions or any things or trainings that Steinbeck underwent in his multiple trips to the USSR and many different other countries around the world. Plus, over decades, his relationship with the highest levels of power. You don't just write the CIA director, you don't just become friends with the president. Shows that he was very heavily involved with the group of people who orchestrated some of the most atrocious acts of intelligence in American and world history. Whether that's documents to prove it. Let's go over. So now that we got warmed up with a hard fight, something that's irrefutable, I want to take you guys to something that's hot on the news right now. The biggest story in America that's trying to be suppressed, and of course, that is Jeffrey Epstein. And as I'm sure all of you guys know, Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligence agent. He was working with at least one, if not multiple intelligence agencies, blackmailing, doing all types of stuff. But in the late 1980s and early 1990s, Epstein made a very interesting move. He bought a huge ranch in New Mexico, where many of the craziest and worst things that he did took place. But why did he move there? Well, Epstein, if you don't know, loves science. Was really into science. And there was an institution in Santa Fe that he wanted to be near, that he wanted to help build. And he built his house there because, quote, he had it built because of the month or so he found himself spending there, talking elementary particle physics with his friend, Murray Gell-Mann, a Nobel Prize-winning physicist and co-chair of the science board at the Santa Fe Institute. And that's where our story begins with none other than Cormac McCarthy. And there's a link to a video down below where I did a full deep dive into Cormac McCarthy and Jeffrey Epstein's relationship together. I can't get into all of it here, but I will tell you the main point. So, around the time that Epstein got there, so did Cormac McCarthy. And during that time, Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Robert Maxwell, were dumping a ton of money into the Institute. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. So much money that Ghislaine Maxwell's sister, Christine Maxwell, was on the board of trustees at the Santa Fe Institute. So, just to get things started, from the start of Cormac McCarthy's time there, Jeffrey Epstein was a big deal. Many of the scientists at the Institute went to parties at Jeffrey Epstein's house where young and presumably underage women were present. We have no proof that Cormac McCarthy was there, but their mutual friend, Gell-Mann, said that he liked to go to Jeffrey's dinners in New Mexico because why? Gell-Mann rather sweetly mentions that there are always pretty ladies around when he goes to dinner, says Epstein. And he's under the impression that Epstein's clients include the Queen of England. And this, you may be saying, is whatever. Where's the direct connection? Well, in 2011, when Cormac McCarthy was sitting on the board of trustees, Epstein was putting out feelers, what we call tracers, trying to see who would still accept him back into their fold. And there were plenty of institutions and people, including people like Donald Trump and many other figures on both sides of the aisle that wanted nothing to do with him after his 2008 child prostitution charge and conviction and sweetheart deal. But the Santa Fe Institute accepted Jeffrey Epstein's money, the board of trustees, and I have no idea. I've sent emails. I have no idea what happened during that meeting. If Cormac McCarthy was present, he took a no vote. Who knows? But the Institute, and someone as involved with the Institute as Cormac McCarthy was, someone who was there daily for decades, obviously knew who Jeffrey Epstein was and what he was up to, and to just nail it all on the head. And like I said, there are so many other connections that I talk about. But in 2022, Cormac McCarthy did his final interview with Lawrence Krauss. And if you do not know, when all the Me Too and Epstein stuff came out back in 2018, 2019, Lawrence Krauss had a ton of women come out and make allegations against him. But what I really want to talk about is that Lawrence Krauss also was outed for hosting many events on Jeffrey Epstein's island and having a relationship and a friendship with Epstein, plus all that other stuff. And so maybe McCarthy was oblivious to all of it, but I doubt it. I doubt that he didn't know that his friend, someone who he would do an interview with, the only person outside the Santa Fe Institute who would do an interview with, months before his death, got fired from his job as a professor at ASU, forced to resign, whatever happened over there. And there were plenty of other members of the Santa Fe Institute that did stuff on Jeffrey Epstein island, that were friends with him, that were involved with him, people who Cormac McCarthy was seeing on the daily. Plus, when we talk about the Santa Fe Institute, guess who founded it? Countless members of the Los Alamos National Laboratory, which isn't some place for, physicists to have fun. It's a weapons lab. It's one of the epicenters of the security system in the United States. And they continue to work with that lab long after, many many of its, some of its members obviously
Securing
founded the
C.
Santa Fe Institute. The Institute also works
Losing
with
A.
contractors who work with, guess who? Department of Defense and so many other government institutions.
Right here.
And so it's a lot of it's smoke and mirrors, right? Like, are they working? No, they work with the person that works with these agencies. Then, of course, Valerie Flame, who is a known CIA agent, a known spy that was outed, who was a consultant at the Santa Fe Institute for years when Cormac McCarthy was there, working there in New Mexico, living there, not some person that came once a year for a presentation. You can't make this stuff up. I need to make another video because I've actually learned more since I made that
Losing
original
Alpha.
Epstein video and McCarthy. This could go on for an hour, everybody. So, can we prove that Cormac was an agent? No, but he was around so many other agents, people involved in the intelligence community, and it's just a little bit odd. The only artist in the entire building, he was obsessed with all these people. He booked manifestos for them, did all this stuff, and we know allegedly in Vincenzo Marni's Vanity Fair article about Cormac McCarthy and his underage girlfriend that they didn't like because they kept the relationship, that he said that he takes his time at the institute and he exploited it for his energy and all this stuff and his name. What does it all mean? What is Cormac McCarthy's run-ins with various different agents all throughout his life? I don't know. Something to think about. You guys got some theories on that? Put it down below. But it is definitely suspicious. And if you guys know, when there is smoke, a lot of the time there is fire. So thank you for letting me do our first kind of soft connection of the day. But let's hop back into a hard connection. And if you do not already know, the Right Conscious Book Club is the most active and dope book club in the world. And I host it over on Substack, where the literary renaissance is brewing right now, and where it's going to explode. The best readers and writers in the world are on Substack. So if you are a writer or you want to read dope, modern fiction, poetry, nonfiction for free, a lot of the time, Substack is the place for you. And the Right Conscious Book Club meets multiple times a month, and we talk about transformative novels together. And I can guarantee you, if you come and if you want to, you will be able to talk about the book we are reading for at least 10 minutes to the group or to a small group of people, which makes it the best place you can practice talking about literature and the best place you can go to connect with other people about the books that you love or the books that you maybe didn't like that we read. And when you join my Substack, you also get access to over 100 hours of literature and writing content. Some of my best stuff is over there. And if you cannot afford to join my paid membership, I also post free content all the time. I have free live streams, all my writing is for free over there. Plus, I'm relaunching my free writing school on January 5th, which is going to go crazy like it did the first time. It's going to kick off the literary renaissance. And so I will see everybody over on Substack. Plus, if you not already know, the Right Conscious merch store is live. You're going to see me wearing so many different shirts in the video. We got so many cool things. So if you want to make the streets lit, head on over there and let's get back to the video. So next we have the American hero and double agent himself. Yes, Ernest Hemingway, aka the Russian spy. And not many people know this, but Ernest Hemingway was a verified Russian spy before he started to work with American intelligence, and then before the
floor. That's all I gotta say.
God damn it.
Oh my god, he said,
Go for a report off the map. Let's report off the map.
He did keep saying that.
Lame truth here.
I can't.
Yeah, you read. Yeah, you read.
Lamic, when you pushed up to get his banner, you could have made it out, but you decided to stay and fight, right?
Yeah.
No, he was right there. He was literally sitting on it, and I tried to do that. You read.
Welcome to the neighborhood!
Yeah, welcome.
I figured you'd want to lay low a while. Trust me, they'll be coming for you.
You see my wife. You did all this.
Lobbies Microbrow.
Foto cejas en forma, microprecisión, cejas microfuertes, de cejas fuera de forma a cejas estilizadas y definidas. No se corre, instituto persistente, variedad de tonos a prueba de agua.
You have to.
Enriquecida con ceramidas, 90% menos quiebre y 100% cobertura de canas. Excellence Nudes de L'Oréal Paris.
Because you're worth it.
De oscuro a rubio y no de colorado.
This is blonde para mí.
Nuevo Ultra Color Caramelo Blonde para cabello oscuro. Aclara sin decolorar en 3 niveles. Para un rubio luminoso sin tonos cobrizos. Nuevo Caramelo Blonde, aprobado por latinas. De Garnier, naturalmente.
Domination. Secure the objective. Locking down Bravo. Zone C secure. Got the lead. B secured.
Whether that's
Authorizing UAV operation. Losing B.
Es un momento emocionante, ya que los distribuidores son
We're losing Alpha.
contribuyen a una causa benéfica.
Obtener un APR del 0% de modelos
Embarca en una aventura con esos 4 tesoros deliciosos.
Losing Bravo. Check your fire. Losing B.
more than just shifts. Work, party,
Give the eyes to the sky.
Losing Bravo. We lost B.
price plan.
Hostiles released to Stewart.
Price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm.
I saw that and I was like, what?
Hostile UAV established above. Enemy CUAV established overhead. Armor requesting UAV overflight.
Yeah, I don't think we need a second opinion.
Enemy UAV detected. Underway on Bravo.
We need this one.
Bravo zone secure.
Tango down.
Authorizing UAV operation.
Establishing scramble.
TACOM. Establish counter UAV overflight.
enemy with some tech.
Eyes on hostile Semtex. Threat. Losing B.
Oh my god.
Losing Bravo. Touching up. Assaulting with Gravemaker. Losing B.
Schizophrenic.
Losing Bravo. Touching up. Armor requesting UAV overflight.
sir.
Hostile counter UAV above. Taking B. Securing B. Underway on Bravo. Taking B.
Cover me. Taking the objective. Lucky you for me. Authorizing UAV operation.
Locking down Bravo.
In position and moving. Accepted. Rush.
Securing B.
Logging threat.
Staring down the barrel of the hot sun, shining with the sheen of a shotgun. Carol has pills, we need some. So as your eyes won't come, hanging your jeans with the clothespin. Skin still wet, still on my skin. Mango in your mouth, show wipe your shirt sleeve. Wishing to see you, but your mother insists. Don't wanna fight, but your mother insists. Dogs white teeth slice right through my fist. Drive to the yard and they put me on risk. Grocery store list, now you get this. Run check calls and messages. I don't wanna be there on your face. I just wanna be a part of your family. And I don't wanna
Enemy
talk
CUAV
about
established overhead.
I don't
Damn
wanna
it,
talk
lost the
about
lead.
anything. I don't wanna witness your eyes looking. I don't wanna talk
Hostile
about
counter UAV above. Enemy UAV detected.
Listen to your heart beating. Listen to the way you move. But I don't wanna talk about anything. I don't wanna talk about anything. I wanna kiss your eyes again. Wanna witness your eyes again. I don't wanna talk about anyone. I don't wanna talk about anyone. Wanna sleep in your car when you're driving. Lay in your lap when you're crying. Stars in heaven, only the salt in the sea. Dragons in the water fountain. Didn't you believe in me? Yeah, you held me the whole way through, and I couldn't say the words like you. I was scared in the boat, but I wanted to.
Get away from what you didn't work for. What's up, guys?
guys? Welcome back to the channel. New community update, more communication from EA and DICE. This time, they're addressing the controversy of this week, essentially.
I'm glad you guys didn't grab an eagle that was right next to you.
Out and, well, didn't make a lot of people happy. In this post, they go over the updates that are coming up, and they give some commentary regarding the feedback that they've received with Breakthrough being worse than it was before, the menu being broken, micro stuttering.
The guild has chosen to invest in you. Do not let us
If you
down.
want to keep up to date
Securing
with
Alpha.
everything going on with the game,
We've locked down A.
you have to stream
The
every
advantage
single
is
day,
ours. Hold it.
Enders, sub the YouTube channel, follow the stream.
Losing B.
They start this community post off by giving quick and detailed feedback. Yes. Quick and detailed feedback. Also known as a bunch of Reddit posts and social media. You fucking made Breakthrough worse, holy shit. Something like that. They go on to say later they are tracking.
We control B.
Have already been done to address some of these issues and near-term and future plans. They said, all reports including items relating to
Locking down Charlie. Skewer release detected.
UAV established above. Before I go on to read all of these things they mentioned, I just want to say this.
Losing Bravo.
When it comes to that, is derived from the fact that I think everyone knows how good this game can be. The beta was that big oh shit moment, coming off the back of Battlefield 2042, which coming off the back of that game, the expectations of Battlefield 6 were both very high and also exceedingly low. Of course, they essentially proved to us that they remembered how to make video games. And then when the beta came around, and I think surprised a lot of people with just how good it was, I think that really gave people the taste that they wanted for years. And I think a lot of the frustration just comes from the fact that people see a lot of the changes away
Losing B.
potential of the game, just makes it harder to actually achieve that. The way I think of it is kind of like hanging a picture frame on the wall by yourself. You know, you put it up there, it's like, okay, well, it's fucking to the left, tilt it the other way, okay, now it's tilted to the right. Let's see what's happening with that. It's like, it's a little bit some areas, fucking this bad, or it's centered, all that sort of stuff. It's important to understand that Battlefield 6 is still early in its infancy. The game just came out a couple months ago, and that doesn't excuse the issues that were happening. However, it took Battlefield 4 probably over a year to get into a playable state. So even though a lot of these
Charlie.
the solutions are seemingly simple, we have a long road to go with this game. Moving on with DICE addressing the controversy in this post, though,
Locking down Charlie.
They list several items that have already been identified and are actively being addressed or have been fully resolved. December 12th, they released
Taking C.
micro stuttering. What's going on Steam right now is
Losing Alpha.
Steam.
Locations are secure. Maintain current posture.
Winchester and Steam online status
Losing A.
offline, which is just, I mean, that's just a total Battlefield I've never heard of that shit in my life. Then on December 15th, PlayStation, basically all consoles, will receive a hot fix that
Losing Bravo.
resolutions for issues related to fight damage, complaining that the menu is broken and it makes
Losing
the gameplay
B.
literally unplayable because you cannot select game mode that you want to play.
We lost
so console
B.
players at this that.
Enemy UAV
Then they
detected.
give this big section called issues identified after the update.
Bravo
The
capture
first thing
underway.
listed is Battle Royale,
taking
the fact
C.
that users
Locking
could
down
not
Bravo.
We're
losing Charlie.
The back-end update. No
Securing
doubt,
B.
this was one of the reasons why the RedSec Elite Series
Hostile UAV established above.
I experienced
We
this
lost
issue.
C.
We have a big tournament like that. You kind of want to be able
Bravo
to
capture
drop
underway.
into the map. They have already resolved
package on
the
standby.
fact that they accidentally nerfed movement via bugs. What's really funny is the community reaction to this. When the update came out, people were treating this as like an official movement nerf. And of course, Reddit and everywhere was celebrating, saying, fuck streamers, fuck all these jumping assholes, these people that slide, blah, blah, blah. And then, once DICE came out and said, well, actually, the movement thing isn't a nerf, it's a bug, and we are reverting it and fixing it where it should be, then, of course, they all had a temper tantrum and ate their own shit, which I just love to see, because the section of the Battlefield community that basically just wants to destroy the game's gameplay by heavily every single thing to do with movement. Not only are these people tourists and fake fans that don't understand how Battlefield games traditionally play, they're some of the most annoying and hypocritical people I've ever. So anything that makes them angry, I am all for. Now, some other things they fixed in this update, they fixed the daily challenge reward, they fixed the Conquest ticket count reverted to a battle when they actually busted up to 1,200. There are some more things that are hotfixes that are currently being developed. One is main menu navigation. The other things have to do with micro stuttering, firing range, bot stats tracking. Some people were confused. They're like, why is my KD 20? Like, well, you're a bot farmer, so bot stats are tracking on your account. The next section of the post has to do with community feedback. The first thing they mentioned is breakthrough. Those of you that are not aware of what they did in the update, they basically made it
Skewer release detected. Hostile UAV established above. Taking C.
Defensive vehicles and holding the kind of vehicles that are available.
Losing Alpha.
Which creates an inherent imbalance. DICE says, following our update, many of you shared concerns that are increasing in tactical vehicles in certain maps difficult to defend. Needed. We also heard strong sentiment around player count and pacing, with some players the intensity of 64 players ratio of map-specific player counts. Better maps. Players also pointed out that objective placement and sector flow can
Bravo is out.
Finally, we saw reports spawning while earlier ones were still active, which led to more pressure on defenders than intended. We rolled out a resolution yesterday as part of our ongoing tuning, and we'll continue to guys, shocking to highlight, if attackers shift vehicles, it puts more pressure on the defending team. Unfortunately, this is just one of those instances where DICE created a problem for themselves they now have to fix. I said it as soon as I saw those changes. And again, I think a lot of it has to do with the maps, and you can't really easily fix the maps, can you? After they I believe
Securing B.
the first few paragraphs they've given
Enemy
us
UAV
addressing
detected.
in Battlefield 6. They start off by saying they've heard concerns about tanks taking unintended damage in situations. Skins apparently took more damage. So, God forbid you want to make your tank look cool, you're gonna have to take 50% more damage for that. Something's taking consistent damage. They updated vehicle damage zones. When it comes to air-to-air combat, they mentioned they are making the jet 1v1 time to kill longer. One of the most
Bravo capture underway.
about Battlefield is if you're in a jet
Bravo zone secure.
encounter or a jet versus jet, it essentially is who insta-kills each other first, but it's the fighting that goes on. And one of my favorite previous Battlefield games is to dogfight. And with the time to kill right now, there isn't much of a dogfight happening in the game. So
losing Bravo.
the last thing they mentioned is that beyond they're investing in a dedicated air radar system that will help with visibility and situational awareness
Securing C.
engagements. Those of you that are playing with Battlefield will know air radar is basically non-negotiable. It is essential.
Losing B.
So while it is good to hear they're going to be addressing it in Beyond Season 1, so there you have it, addressing the things that happened this week. Some good information here. I do appreciate the communication on Miles or anything. It's definitely the best DICE I've ever personally seen. So, 6, hit the sub button. Be sure to hit the like button. And swing by the
Cluster
streams.
grenade
I
out.
stream every single twitch.tv/first link in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.
Sniper 4-3, MVP halfway.
Corporate appreciates your role in today's success.
All of the shareholders myself.
Don't say a word, guys.
I'm shooting.
I am doing stuff. Dang. Don't say a fucking word. Over here. It's the easy third. Still fun spot, by the way. It's easy. I just own. Made it. 3 kills! 3 kills! Right. Keep padding your stats, Flamic. 3 kills.
Walking in front of me. Rub one.
I don't think the Rhino's good, but I had so much fun using chaos breaking in there. I think that he was able to fight. It's so fucking hilarious. It's so fucking stupid.
Let Lamic get some damage on knock players real quick. Some padded stats. Let Lamic get a bit more damage here, X. Can we push up and then let him damage them a little bit?
Okay.
Here, let's Lamic, we're gonna push up here to get you a little bit more damage. Oh, one shoot me. I'm not shooting him yet though. Nope. 50. Oh, dude. Shit. Wait, Lamic, let our altar push up, you through, and then die.
Hard point.
They're not even peeking.
All units, mission area designated a Suckerbuck zone. Hostiles have the hard point.
Lobbies, microgram. Pon tus cejas en forma. Las cejas
Hard point locked down.
corre y su punto de resistencia. Variedad de tonos a prueba de agua.
The guild took the hard point.
During this holiday season, there's a NutriBullet for everyone.
Hostile UAV established above.
Shop now for up to 50% off at Amazon.com until December 20th.
Life's better when you're under because when you feel protected, you can dream fearlessly.
Enemy CUAV established overhead.
American Family
Hard point
Insurance.
located.
Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Waited all year for
That's the hard point.
You know it's better with
Hard point active. Hard point locked down. Hostiles have the hard point.
house rules. No rules. Look right.
Enemy UAV detected.
Own the night. Ready?
De oscuro a rubio y no de color. Ultra Chrome Caramelo Blonde. Para cabello oscuro. Cara sin decolorar en 3 niveles. Para un rubio luminoso. Nuevo caramelo Blonde. Aprobado por latinas. De Garden naturalmente.
Hostile maneuvering. Snapdragon, get a PC that performs up to light that lasts up to 22
Hard point identified.
You
Got the hard point.
L'Oréal Paris. Fórmula sin amor.
The guild took the hard point. Hard point is active.
90%
Hard point locked down.
100% cobertura de canas.
Hostiles have the hard point. Got the hard point. The guild took the hard point. Hostiles released secure. Hostile UAV established above. detected.
How did SoFi actually help by lowering my monthly payments and making my monthly payments matter?
You're dead with a SoFi personal loan.
Hardpoint
January
located.
12, 2026, and you can
Hostile
win
counter
100 grand.
UAV above. Hostile UAV established above.
grenade set.
Skewer incoming. Hardpoint active. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Enemy UAV detected.
Package ready for delivery.
Injecting stim.
There ain't no way I lose that. Dumbass shit. Fast as hell. I don't know what to run, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Hardpoint locked down.
Just to the middle.
Hardpoint identified. Hostiles released a skewer. Hostile UAV established above. Hardpoint is active. The guild took the hardpoint.
Care package delivery.
Give me a UAV. Basin authorizing skewer.
Enemy UAV detected.
TACOM, establish counter UAV overflight. Authorizing UAV mission.
Get a hop in the air.
Recon overflight.
Hardpoint located.
Top midway mission time check. TACOM, get me a UAV.
Hardpoint active.
Care package on standby.
Be a serial killer.
TACOM.
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Doesn't mean you didn't go buy one to pour it in. You don't drink
Strike ready for delivery.
Got the hardpoint.
Hellstorm strike available.
Mission time expended. Hob exiting the AO.
Red Bull, not Monster. You got the wrong drink.
The guild took the hardpoint.
Say died. I don't want to do that.
Wind authorizing napalm strike.
Raider 1-9 rolling in. Deploying payload. Raider is Winchester. Returning to base.
Sentry turret operating.
Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint locked down. Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Deploying.
Hardpoint is active. Got the hardpoint.
Authorizing UAV mission. Two targets neutralized.
The guild took the hardpoint.
Force the UAV in my AO. TACOM, get me a UAV.
I do. Care package ready for delivery.
Commence care package delivery.
Skewer incoming. Hostile UAV established above. Hardpoint located.
Turret online.
Enemy UAV detected.
Requesting hop ops flight.
Hardpoint active.
Cobalt to rogue team. You're transmitting enemy location.
Care package on standby.
strike on my mark.
Mark, Hellstorm
TACOM,
Core.
get a care package on my grid.
Inbound. Mark sector is burning. Ready route.
Hard point identified.
Ain't no
Authorizing
fucking way.
UAV mission.
Gobo suspending overflight. Give them hell.
Wait,
Hard
all
point is
this-
active.
Scout pulse ready.
Scout post is
Hostiles
online.
have the hard point.
Shoot me.
Packages ready for delivery.
Time's low. Put your head down and get it done.
Strike ready for delivery.
It's like the port, I think.
Hard point located.
Sentry turret operating.
UI is over here.
Commence care package delivery.
Hard point locked down.
Wind authorizing napalm
Hard
strike.
point active.
Raider 1-9 are on station, lighting up your targets. Raider 1-9, delivery complete. RTB.
Five down. Authorizing Hellstorm launch.
First drop. Transferring control.
Tossing cluster.
Hostile UAV established above. Got the hard point. The field took the hard point. Hard point is active.
I just, okay.
Hard point locked down.
Team shot or I just got one clip? I might have got one clip.
Package on standby.
Hostiles have the hard point.
TACOM, get a care package on my grid.
He's got a med kit.
Tango in range.
Viewer. I need it.
Got the hard point. Hostiles released a skewer. Hard point identified. Everybody failed. This operation needs a hard reboot.
Aquí vamos. Primero un set de azúcar doble buena, 12 minutos. Las primeras 6 un paseo, las otras 6 castillo. Terminamos de cruzar y un día de trabajo. Trabajo sin tarde, pero igual se tarda. Echar las tardes.
Day 2 of vaping and smoking. I am feeling a little anxious today, so I just texted. I don't want to be reliant on nicotine anymore.
Ready?
So, let's do this. Oh, okay. I got you. No. Sorry. Noodles! Híjole. That was intense. Agreed.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome
figured you'd want to lay low a while. Trust me, they'll be coming for you. You see my wife. You did all this.
It's electrifying.
But the season can break. Driving in a Honda Wonderland.
Experience the wonder of happy Honda days while you can. Visit your local Honda dealer or shop online today.
Friends walk together. La 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 la. Hop and lock together. Laying in together. La 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 la. Everyone together.
With the new IHOP value menu,
Every single sight above 1x in Battlefield 6 is broken, getting worse the higher the magnification gets. And what's most frustrating is that no Battlefield game has ever worked this way before. And if you're feeling cynical or want to get your pitchforks out, it was very likely imitated from Call of Duty. You may have noticed that sniper rifle flicks to enemies outside of your scope always seem to fall short, and that your target acquisition with lower zooms also falls short or otherwise feel clumsy and inconsistent. And flick shots are kind of my thing, so when I see a target here, I am confident in moving my mouse in the correct distance to hit them, but every time I fall short, so what's going on? Well, for whatever reason, Battlefield 6 is now using what's referred to as dual render or picture-in-picture for their sights. Now, whether it's true picture-in-picture doesn't really matter, we just care about the gameplay implications. And this is where the area inside the sight is more zoomed in than the area outside of the sight. The vast majority of FPS games, including every single previous Battlefield game, instead zooms everything in the same amount. So why is this even a problem? Well, first up, here I am with a 4.5 times scope, and when the head is covered by the housing, we would assume it's still there, just hidden. But when we keep moving, oh, it's not there. It's over here instead. We can see the rest of the body here, and the head should be here. And wouldn't you know it, my flick shots land where you would expect the head to be. The problem here is that the 4.5x scope is about 25% more zoomed in than everything outside of it. So while we can clearly see our target sitting right there, that's actually an illusion. In reality, it's not there at all. You can imagine if we instead scale the whole screen by what's inside the scope, that it would instead sit out here. So we're led to believe we need to aim here, when really we need to be aiming over here. That's where this mismatch is coming from. The issue is most noticeable with fast flick shots because we move the screen too quickly to interpolate these differences. All that really matters is this screenshot we see the moment before we flick. The rest comes down to trusting we know how far to move our crosshair and when to shoot. And for general aiming outside of flick shots, this discrepancy with expected target location and their actual location inside the scope is what leads to a feeling of clumsiness or awkwardness when looking around in aim down sight or ADS. While we can interpolate and make adjustments at slower speeds, these discrepancies are still hurdles we're constantly having to overcome. So to summarize the main issue with how Battlefield 6 handles its zoom is that to aim at anything outside of your scope, you have to move your mouse or controller further than you would expect. Everything outside the sight is fake, it's an illusion. If we scale this outside area by the inside of the scope, so it's all the same, that's real. That's the true screen distance to targets. But we are left dealing with this fake, misleading version instead. I went through a bunch of different sites and measured the pixel heights of targets in hipfire, inside the scope and outside the scope to see what's really going on. What I found is that the issue starts off mild and gets much worse the more you increase your magnification, plus a few other interesting quirks. As you may expect, a 1x scope works totally fine. Everything is the same field of view, so there's no problem. Here we have 1.25 with most zooms up to 6x, and what we can see is that we start with only 3% extra zoom and gradually get all the way up to 34%. And the takeaway here is that this problem is less noticeable with shorter zooms and more noticeable the further you are zoomed in. But that's not the whole story, because the size of the sight on your screen is a really important factor too. And that comes down to the fact that everything inside your sight is the true representation of what you're looking at and how you should aim. For this reason, sites with small housing are disproportionately more effective. because more of your screen is taken up by this fake, illusory information. It's why some of the variable scopes feel so terrible for sniping. The sight is so small while still being 34-ish% more zoomed in than the fake outside, which makes it really awkward to use. But on the flip side, some of the variables like the Mars f1 to 5x are actually my favorite close-range sights if I can afford to use them. And that's because it has a large sight. You can use it at 1x without having the rest of your gun or laser sight getting in the way. It's a really clean picture and it still works relatively well at higher zooms like 3, 4, 5x because of its large size. Remember, you're only being affected by this if you're aiming at something outside of the scope. By analyzing these pixel heights between sights, I stumbled upon something quite interesting. I'm sure there's more to it under the hood, but it appears they've applied an FOV modifier of 0.9 to the difference between fire and scope field of view. So the area inside the scope uses 100% of the scope's FOV chain, while the outside only gets 90% of the way from hipfire to that same scope field of view. And because zoom and FOV don't scale linearly, that remaining 10% FOV gap turns into a much larger effective zoom difference at higher magnifications. All of that to say that it looks to me like this problem could vanish by simply changing that modifier to 1, so everything is the same. Your FOV inside the scope is the same as it is outside. All of the aiming weirdness goes away, and it works like every other Battlefield game, and just about every other FPS game with good gunplay. I've been trying really hard to play devil's advocate to figure out why they've gone with this dual render setup. It's not realism, because that would make or your hipfire field of view, not this mostly zoomed in version. In gameplay, I could see an argument that the wider field of view outside the scope displays better awareness and information. The trade-off of the damage it does to aim and gunplay might not be worth it. And should players be granted this extra information in the first place? That would be positive to the gameplay overall. In my opinion, it has been done as an aesthetic choice. It provides this illusion of the sight being more realistic because it creates this clear difference between the inside and outside. By making it different, it stands out more. I don't think the gameplay implications were a consideration, and honestly, they may not even know about them. And while we're on the topic of scopes, it would be remiss of me not to mention ADS field of view, which is an option that's been present in previous Battlefield games, but is now missing in Battlefield 6. Turning this setting off would make your sight zoom in as if you were playing on the default field of view. So even if your FOV was cranked right up, a 1x scope would actually zoom in a fair bit. I couldn't find the tweet, but I'm sure I saw Corey talking about this at some stage, and that it was an intentional choice. I can see reasons for not adding it, particularly for balancing sights and for red set especially. And as someone who personally did use this setting in Battlefield 5 and would likely benefit from it in Battlefield 6, I would still be okay with not bringing it back if they fix 3 crucial things with sights in this game. First is the dual render messing up your aim that we just covered, and second is how small the sights are. They are tiny. I don't think there's a single sight that I feel happy about using. To me, it's all about choosing the least terrible one to whatever build you're playing. The housing is bulky and your gun and attachment blocking a portion of the screen, bringing these sights and weapon much closer to the screen would feel so much better. Just take a look at the 1x sight from Battlefield 1. You have all this open space around the crosshair, and in particular, this crosshair and the gun itself. The housing is relatively thin, and you have a clean, crisp picture. No weird tinting or lens warping effects. And now let's look at my favorite 1x scope in Battlefield 6. The sight itself is tiny. You have barely any space between the crosshair, the housing, and the weapon. You have this red and bulky part here covering things up. There's a blue tint to it, and God forbid you equip a top-mounted laser sight. I mean, come on. And the final thing I want to bring up is the depth of field, where the area outside of your scope is blurry. Visibility is already difficult enough as it is in this game, without having most of your screen blurred. Previous games have had an option to toggle this on or off, although in Battlefield 5 I can't really see any differences. While Battlefield 6 doesn't have this setting exposed in-game, you can turn it on or off in the config, but all it changes is whether the weapon itself is blurry. It doesn't change anything to the blur outside of the scope. So to sum everything up, the area outside of your scope is an illusion. Targets are further away from your crosshair than they appear, making you under-aim your shots and otherwise introduce a certain clumsiness and awkwardness to aiming in this game. The sights themselves are far too small relative to the size of your viewport, and the depth of field blurriness outside of your sights makes visibility difficult for us to do. The good news is that all 3 of these problems have been solved in previous Battlefield titles, so if they were to be changed, it shouldn't be too troublesome and the results would be unambiguous. The be very curious to hear your thoughts in the comments below. I'm obviously biased towards aiming, gunplay, and gameplay, and making whatever decisions are necessary to make those elements as fun and robust as possible. But perhaps I'm missing some of the benefits here, or some counterpoints that support this new direction that I haven't quite considered. If you're looking to improve your aim, I highly encourage you to check out my very own clawmate mouse mod I designed over at struthgaminggear.com. They allow you to set up these extra surfaces to grip into, significantly increasing your control. I recently put up a gallery of setups submitted by the community, which is a cool insight into the many creative ways you can use them. Thanks so much for watching, be sure to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Hardpoint locked down. Enemy UAV detected.
Hostile assault pack.
Strike ready for delivery.
Hostile care package above. The field took the hard point.
Commence care package delivery.
Skewer available for assignment.
Skewer target.
Skewer release this task.
Pin authorizing next
Hostile strike available.
Skewer incoming.
Raider approaching LAR, rain fire.
Hard point identified. Got the hard point.
Raider in Winchester, returning to base.
Hostiles have the hard point.
HKDs on my AO.
HKD is ready for delivery.
Hard point locked down. Hard point is active. Hostile UAV established above. The field took the hard point.
Capcom, get me a UAV.
Got the hard point.
Enemy material, drop. Deletion 2.
Hostiles have the hard point.
Your HKDs have been destroyed. Enemies took out your HKDs.
Hostiles released a skewer. The field took the hard point.
Sentry turret operating.
Hard point located. Hard point active. Hard point locked down. Hostiles have the hard point. Got the hard point. Skewer incoming. Enemy UAV detected.
Enemy casualty.
This is the longest match ever to me. Oh my god.
Capcom, establish counter UAV overflight.
The guild took the hard point. Hard point identified. Hard point locked down.
Release skewer on mission.
Next patient.
Hostile UAV established above. Hard point is active. Got the hard point. No leads, no intel, nothing. What a waste of time.
Damn it. We lost good people today.
You of low-effort nostalgia bait, clunky exposition, corny humour, contrived set pieces, and boring characters. Yet, even amidst the mire of audio-visual slime, there are extreme low points, moments of sheer ignominy, sinkholes in the hellscape, having no more original characters left to massacre, Disney turned its claws upon John Williams' score, reducing his incredible Star Wars canon to a cheesy montage of Star Wars greatest hits. The only halfway entertaining character Disney created, Kylo Ren, slumped in my chair, bored almost to sleep by a show I am completely checked out of. And my wife walks into my study and asks, "What the hell are you watching?" "The Last of Us," I reply, to which she responds, "Oh, I thought you were watching a YouTube video of a 12-year-old girl continuously talking." Episode 5 of The Last of Us Season 2 is perhaps the worst written episode of a TV series I have seen this year. The opening scene alone could be used as a textbook example of how not to open an episode of a series, or indeed any piece of media. Two strong female characters, Beverly from Hannibal and Commander Midge, sit in an office having a boring, static conversation with one another about an operation that went bad because the personnel involved came across fungal spores and got infected. None of this is shown. All of it is exposited over the course of a 4-minute conversation. Two almost identical characters the audience has never seen before, talking harmoniously about characters the audience has never heard of. None of these characters will have any dramatic, thematic, world building, or narrative impact on the episode or the show at all. The only useful thing this intro does is inform the viewer that the fungal infection is now airborne. To demonstrate how bizarre and jarring this is, I'm going to use the intro blueprint from The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 5 to create an intro to a popular 90s TV show. Oh dude, did you hear? Stevie totally fucked Belle.
Belle? Who's that?
The chick who looks like a potato.
Oh dude, well he's Irish, so I guess it makes sense.
Bruh, dude, I got this great idea. I'm gonna get a potato and draw a face on it and tape it to his locker and write the word potato dick under it.
Oh dude,
yeah! Now you may respond,
but glorious, benevolent, and all-knowing despot, most episodes of The Last of Us start with a mini-story disconnected from the rest of the plot. How is this one any different?
Well, this one is different for the simple reason that it is vastly inferior. This is, by far, the worst mini-story opening The Last of Us has yet produced. The problems are that there is no context to relate who these women are. It would be far better to communicate the one useful piece of information expounded in their conversation through action. Beverly's story contains plot holes and portrays the organization she belongs to as a pack of ludicrously incompetent morons. There's also character dissonance. The show wants us to be really impressed with just how boss level Commander Midge is, but accidentally portrays her as an idiot by having her make some horrific decisions. So let's go through those issues one by one. Firstly, who are these women? Well, we don't know, and there is nothing in this miserable office to indicate who they are, so the show shoehorns in some absolutely clanking dramatic beats to announce their respective positions and what their relationship is to one another. Here's the first of these flankers.
Hostiles have the hard point.
Did you see the way she shoved those doors open and marched in, impressing everyone in her orbit with her gravitas? She must be the woman in charge, because how could anyone want the commander walk with such awesome charisma? I am so fucking tired of this trope. Actresses trying to do gravitas by giving a cartoonish impression of charismatic male actors. In the 10 years this trope has been going, I have never once seen an actress successfully pull off gravitas. Every single time the 1,000-yard stare becomes the try-hard stare. This is what real gravitas looks like.
Hard point located.
Raider 1-9 are on station, lining up your target.
This is what an actress imitating gravitas looks like.
Hard point active. Got the hard point.
Here's the second clanker.
What happened? My unit is responsible for securing the hospital. I know your orders. I gave the police. What happened?
Beverly is trying to relate the story, but gets interrupted by the person who asked for the story, because the script wants to let everyone know that Midge runs this operation. This is hammy, awful writing. There are far better ways to communicate that Midge is Beverly's commanding officer here. For example, Why didn't you confirm your order with me before you sealed up the lower floors? We didn't have time. It was do or die. There. That's it. Now we know that Mighty Midge is Beverly's superior. We don't need the clanktacular line.
I know your orders, I gave them.
Compare this opening with the mini-story used to open Season 1. Two epidemiologists are on an old talk show sharing their thoughts about potential future pandemics.
Dr. Newman, you're also an epidemiologist. I presume the prospect of a viral pandemic keeps you up at night as well.
The identity of the characters are communicated naturally over the course of the conversation. John Hannah doesn't need to turn to the host and say, "Sorry, Dean, I hate to interrupt the host on the show, but as an epidemiologist, I feel uniquely qualified to respond to the statements of my colleague, Dr. Lurch, who is also an epidemiologist." The second problem with the Commander Midge and Beverly opening is that it's completely unnecessary. We don't need these two women to expound all this. The intro could show the essentials of what is being described in less time than it takes to describe them. The show don't tell rule is an annoying copywriting cliche, kind of crap across on every 10 tips to improve your writing blog post ever vomited out of Tumblr. If that rule were followed to the letter, movies would all be 4-hour-long slogathons. Not everything can be shown. Some information has to be exposited, and that's fine. A better guideline would be, don't tell when showing is better. Here's a random example from a movie I watched recently.
How about not? How about just the worst campaign of all time?
Be advised. Enemy watchdog helo
Talk about
incoming.
weird.
Enemy care package dropping.
Well, I get
Stuck.
I didn't have Xbox.
lost. Cold
Request interceptors on my grid.
In this movie, What About Bob, we learn about Bob's various problems through a variety of show and tell. We see him use a tissue to open doors and shake hands. We see his fear of elevators, and he tells Richard Dreyfuss some more of his problems in a therapy session. This is a nice mixture of show and tell. In the therapy session, Bob talks about his problems.
Hardpoint identified.
Maybe I didn't leave her because she likes Little Dark, but maybe she left me.
Yes. Would the movie really be improved by showing every single one of Bob's phobias and a flashback to his divorce? Better to just find a good balance, good tell, and get on with the story. In The Last of Us Midge and Beverly intro, the scene is all tell. The scene only needs to do two things: communicate the existence of airborne cordyceps and set up the Lost Squad plotline, which will be paid off when Ellie enters the basement later and sees the infected trapped against the wall breathing cordyceps. The scene achieves this by having two women talk in a room for 4 minutes. This is bad and incorrect. So let's rewrite the scene to make it watchable. iPhone.
Agent, check out these two at the hospital. We sent in a scout and have her back. Do a quick recon and get out of there.
Cut to Aiden sneaking through the hospital basement. He turns a corner and comes across something. We don't see what he's looking at, but he's visibly terrified. Aiden. By the time he makes it back to the ground floor, he's out of breath and rasping horribly. It's in the air! He screams, almost deliriously, "Seal the fucking basement!" They seal the basement and put Aiden in quarantine. A soldier pulls out his radio and says, "Get down here." Cut to Beverly in tears outside the quarantine room. Midge the menacing marches in. She looks through the door at Aiden. He's already turning. Midge the merciless marches in, puts a gun against his head, and...
I'm sorry about your son.
Or we could have two women sitting in a corporate cubicle boring me to tears for 4 interminable minutes. Another problem with this intro is plot holes in Beverly's story. Her squad clears the entire hospital of infected from ground level to the roof, but save the basement for last because that's where the infected like to hang out, and the difficulty setting is likely much higher down there. Why do the WLF not send a scout into the basement? Someone small, sneaky, and fast? He, or more likely knowing this show, she can scout each floor, report back, and then a tactical team can move in. Sending an entire squad in blind is stupid to the point of absurdity. This is year 20 of the apocalypse. These are survivors. They should have extensive experience at clearing buildings. They should know well by now the perils of operating without proper intelligence. Then Beverly says this.
I knew it wasn't in the vents or we would have all been infected weeks ago.
No. No, you don't. You know it isn't in the vents yet. This is the first time you've come into contact with airborne cordyceps. You don't know the first fucking thing about them. This is a fungus. It grows very quickly. The priority must be to evacuate all personnel from the hospital immediately, then launch a well-planned operation to eradicate the fungus from the hospital basement with proper fucking reconnaissance this time. So Midge jumps out of her chair and shouts, "Are you out of your fucking mind, Beverly? There's a giant fungus producing airborne cordyceps at the bottom of this building, and you haven't ordered an evacuation yet? And why didn't you do any recon on the basement? You're under arrest for dereliction of duty. You will be court-martialed. If you're not executed, you will never hold a position of command again. Now get the fuck out of here." Then Midge smashes the alarm and everybody runs out of the giant death trap. Wait, no, actually this happens.
As far as I'm concerned, Sergeant Park, you resolved the situation perfectly. We owe you a debt.
Then Midge orders a cover-up.
To inform only the people who absolutely need to know and no one else.
This is where the plot really falls apart at the seams. Let's go back to the start of the episode and count how many people witnessed the barricading of the hospital basement following the discovery of airborne cordyceps. Karen, I have a bit of music from this is a YouTube video, not a zombie apocalypse.
The field took the hard point.
Not fucking that!
Skewer ready to hold.
Skewer in my AO.
Deploying skewer on your target.
Incoming fire. Eyes on enemy.
Hardpoint locked down.
Okay, at least 20 witnesses, plus the men who put up the barricades, plus anyone involved in the operation, reserve unit, support staff, surgeons, logistics, communications. Then there's the friends and families of the dead who will want to know what happened, and they won't buy the bullshit narrative that, oh well, you know, zombies and shit. This is uncoverable. There is no mainstream media to spin the narrative that it wasn't cordyceps. Word is already out. Everyone in the community already knows the hospital is compromised. And why does Midge refer to the hospital as a vital resource?
Hospital's a resource we can't afford to lose.
It's a building. There are lots of buildings you can use as hospitals nearby. Even in the most dire emergency, you're not going to have more than 2 dozen patients in a single day. Just move the essential equipment into a school or an old mall. There, done. Now you don't need to keep a genuinely vital resource trained medical staff 1 floor away from a fucking airborne fungus that will turn them into murderous fungus zombies. You shit for brains, wank hard. Not incidentally, they need to move to another building anyway because, as Beverly literally points out, all the stairways to the basement have collapsed. This means that the hospital is structurally unsound. So Beverly is an operationally illiterate moron who doesn't understand that fungus grows, and Commander Midge is criminally incompetent. This is why you don't allow women positions of leadership in the zombie apocalypse. The Last of Us Season 2 might be stuck in 2020, flying sexual identitarian flags and fronting the show with 2 boring as fuck teenage girls, but at least Neil Druckmann can admit that when humanity is fighting for survival, men should be in charge. Based take, Neil. And on the subject of teenage girls, the day that a girl who looks like Nina elects to get finger banged by that lesbian potato, Marilyn Monroe will be getting skull fucked by Elton John in a ski resort in hell. The Midge and Beverly scene is a textbook example of idiot writers trying desperately to present women as strong, capable military leaders and accidentally portraying them as blundering incompetents because the writers don't know anything about military tactics, strategy, or history and couldn't be bothered researching it. The most infamous example of this is Admiral Aldo from The Last Jedi, who is presented as tough, in charge, and on top of things, when in fact she is an appalling leader who demoralizes her crew and fails to communicate even basic information to subordinates who need that information. Come to think of it, she actually has a lot in common with Midge. Following the intro, the episode presents Ellie and Dina having a tactical chat and swapping some basic info.
The deal took the hard point.
Oh, they have a big ass generator now. Natural gas, baby. Check it out yet?
This scene demonstrates clearly the main reason why parents Ellie and Dina was such a dramatically disastrous decision. They have the exact same personality. They have the same worldview and moral values. The same annoying millennial speech patterns.
Oh my god, you're gonna fucking tell me? For the record,
Hardpoint active.
I'm gonna leave you alone now.
Hardpoint
I'm gonna
locked
explore the
down.
rest of this place. Because you're smart as fuck. That door's open. Nothing's going to kill us.
They're the same age, they're basically the same fucking character. The result is that they can't generate chemistry or conflict. They are excruciatingly boring together on screen. Let's examine how these almost identical characters interact. I did something good, Dina. That's good, Ellie. Ellie makes a joke. Dina jokes back. Ellie smiles. Dina smiles back. They chat. Dina smiles at Ellie. Ellie smiles back. The writer tries his best to generate something like conflict in the dialogue when Ellie asks to help, but it doesn't work because both characters are speaking in the same millennial, inoffensive, quippy, jokey manner.
Why? Because I'm stupid? That's not the word I would use. Really, what word? Sounds school-oriented.
Imagine how early season 1 might react here. No, you can shut up and stop distracting me. I gotta get this done and I've got all day. Get out. Now, we have character conflict and we have a personality clash. Ellie is playful and scatterbrained. Joel is pragmatic, stern, and impatient. But with Dina and Ellie, hey, let's play. Yeah, let's play. This is the main reason why the audience ratings and viewership for The Last of Us are cratering. The Ellie-Dina pairing is the rotten cancer at the heart of this season of television. We don't even need Joel to pair up with Ellie. Any character who is significantly different to Ellie will do. How about this? Ellie wants to go on a revenge mission to Seattle, but Dina says, no, I can't, I'm pregnant. But don't worry, Cody's gonna do it. Spicoli protests Ellie, but that guy's a total stoner. Yeah, but he's reliable and he always gets the job done. Plus he owes me a favor. So Ellie heads out with Spicoli. Instead of two little girls playing around like they're at a sleepover, the scene now looks like this. Are you fucking kidding me, Spicoli? What are you doing? You're supposed to be like triangulating or whatever? You know, we could die every day, Ellie. Sometimes it's important to just take a break and enjoy life, man. I'll enjoy life when Abby isn't fucking breathing anymore. Now get your ass up and do your fucking job. See, Ellie, that's your problem, man, with this whole, like, revenge thing. I mean, it's like Gandhi said, an eye for an eye leaves us all fucked up and shit. This revision is good and correct. For an excellent example of how to do a screen duo right, watch Shogun. John Blackthorne and Mariko are different in almost everything. They are from profoundly different cultures. Mariko is Catholic, Blackthorne is Protestant and hates Catholics. Mariko is from an honor culture in which the rights of the individual are abrogated to the honor of the clan to which that person belongs. This is emphasized when a baby is murdered because his father dishonored the family's daimyo. Blackthorne considers this callous honor culture to be barbaric. Mariko is polite and refined. Blackthorne is rude and coarse. Mariko is disgusted by Blackthorne's hygiene and eating habits, though both improve considerably over the course of the season. But both characters also share common traits which draw them together. Both are intensely loyal. Blackthorne to England, Mariko to Lord Moranaga. Both are intelligent and talented. Both are rebels. Mariko is in rebellion against her husband, and Blackthorne is in rebellion against a society which he regards as cruel and unjust. Both follow a strict rule of honor. Both are excellent at their job. Both have moments of excellence in which their positive traits shine through. Blackthorne leads an endangered vessel through a storm. Mariko politically outmaneuvers Lord Ishido, forcing him to choose between appearing weak or appearing tyrannical. Blackthorne and Mariko have enough in common that they have a fundamental understanding of each other, but they are different enough to create extensive thematic tension and conflict. This character dynamic forms the basis of a relationship which blossoms naturally and unbelievably into sexual attraction and a deep, residing love. The actors Anna Sawai and Michael Jarvis also generate palpable sexual chemistry, so when Blackthorn and Mariko do finally have sex, it feels like the breaking of a tension that has built up. Potato Lady and Fashion Model have no sexual chemistry, and when they fuck, it feels about as earned as Jaden Smith's acting career. By the way, Hiroyuki Sanada's performance as Lord Toranaga in Shogun is a superb example of what real gravitas looks like on screen. After the intense LED scene in the theatre, the script decides that the audience needs a breather, so it conjures a stage full of musical equipment that no one has touched for 20 years. The reason being that if this equipment had been scavenged, the scene couldn't happen. I will give The Last of Us Season 2 credit for upping the scare factor. When Ellie picked up that guitar, I was fucking terrified that she would sing another song the whole way through. Fortunately, she only plays one phrase, which is still one too many, but a massive improvement on. And now we get to the 12-year-old girl talking ad nauseum element of the show. Ellie and Dina are walking through an extremely dense, overgrown urban ruin in an area where they were almost killed by a horde of infected the previous night. And what's on their mind?
If it's a girl, Ellie. If it's a boy,
fucking baby names. This kind of casual conversation makes sense in a wide open area where you can literally see a threat coming from a mile away. But this is an urban jungle. They need to shut the fuck up and keep every one of their senses trained on the environment around them. The behaviour of Ellie and Dina here smashes the verisimilitude of this post-zombie apocalypse world build. In plot contrivance number 1, Ellie and Dina quickly come upon a pile of corpses that have been conveniently left a minute's walk from where they were staying, so the show can build up its scars versus wolves subplot. Dina responds to the sight of a pile of corpses located a stone's throw from a building housing a horde of infected by walking briskly, bolt upright through the middle of the street, speaking loudly and continuously. And look at Ellie here. The entire time she's either looking at the ground or looking at Dina, not keeping her eyes trained on the dense surroundings, looking out for infected or scars or wolves, all of whom will kill Dina and Ellie on sight. Then, in the middle of this urban hellscape infested with enemies, the girls stop and look in each other's eyes so they can have an intimate moment. This is probably some combination of bad directing and bad acting from Bella Ramsey. Compare how Bella Ramsey acts here,
I don't know, Raiders?
to how Pedro Pascal acts in this scene from season 1.
Yeah.
You get him?
No, I missed 2.
Pedro Pascal is actually inhabiting the world of his character. He's sharp-eyed and on edge, always on the lookout for threats. Bella Ramsey, yeah, she just stares at the ground. And don't worry, we're going to examine Bella Ramsey's acting in more detail later in the video. Compare how Dina and Ellie behave here to how the lead characters behave in a similar scene in 28 Days Later.
It's the most direct route to the other side of the river.
No. Then we should take the indirect route, the one that's in broad daylight and that's not underground. Let's just get it done.
When they come across an urban bottleneck, they know that travelling through it poses a risk so massive as to render the way effectively unpassable. But Ellie and Dina, nah, it's fine, just walk through and make sure to keep the chitter chatter going so as to keep from getting bored. You know what? I'm gonna try this in Dying Light 2. Let's see how long I last. Car and iPhone, start the clock. So it's the morning after, and I wake up next to this girl I pulled the previous night. I'm not gonna lie, she was rough. This was not my finest hour. What do you expect, man? I was fucking drunk.
Domination.
And don't act like you haven't done a bit of dumpster diving in your day. We've all been there, man. Boys! But look, whatever, it doesn't matter. So the girl gets a call, and she's, you know,
Sighting in.
Losing Bravo.
But one day and I had a gun, so who's gonna fuck with me?
Okay, I can't. I have to fix this scene. Karen, iPhone, roll it.
Now you already know how this story ends because I don't. And I don't have a mama.
Hostile UAV has damaged
don't have to endure any more scenes in which Dina and Ellie swap annoying quips.
Because you're smart as fuck. I had a gun, so who can fuck with me?
Also, instead of the show swifting narrative perspective to show events from Abby's point of view, it shifts to show events from a new Super Zombies point of view as it jumps across rooftops and roams the streets, massacring everyone it comes across. And that's it, that's the show. Sounds good to me. Instead of insults where criminally incompetent women talk for 5 minutes, you can have this.